Let's bring in Alisha Howard, General Manager of Mersey Car Sales, which also specialises in used cars. This is in Colchester. Alisha, you're hearing what Alison is saying there. Are you experiencing similar as well?
Yeah, it's exactly the same for us. I mean, with used cars, I think people are struggling to get a hold of the new ones. I mean, during lockdown, obviously manufacturers come to sort of a halt, and used cars are the next best thing. I mean, we've grown so much since after lockdown. It's phenomenal. But that's the case, I guess. During lockdown, they're not using their cars. They've been potentially sat on their driveway, not being used. They've come across quite a large repair bill, so they look out for us.
Has that surprised you a little bit, Alisha? Because you think, a pandemic, lots of changes to our home lives, our jobs. You wouldn't necessarily think about getting a car, but actually the reverse has seemed to be the case this year. Have you been quite surprised by that?
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, I thought we were going to sort of struggle as soon as we came back. But I sort of, whenever we have a customer in, I sort of, I build a relationship with them and I get sort of background knowledge. And it's usually people just want to treat themselves. I mean, most people I've asked recently, one that I sold yesterday, he said, look, I was going to get married, I couldn't get married, it was cancelled. I want to treat myself to a nice sporty car, so that's what he done.
Yeah, I suppose, Alison, that kind of taps into the fact that we haven't been able to do stuff we normally or hoped to do this year. So maybe you think you treat yourself to something that you can actually treat yourself to this year instead.
Absolutely. And also we've had customers who have had holidays cancelled and suddenly have, £2,000 or £3,000 refunded into their bank account and think, that would make a really good deposit on a new car. We sell used cars as well. The sales of those have been up, the same as Alisha was saying. But yeah, I think a lot of people just think, well, it's been a terrible year. We haven't been able to treat ourselves to a holiday or to, the usual weekends away that a lot of people are lucky enough to do. Why not treat ourselves to a new car? And, our cars are among the safest in the market. And I think people are happier driving themselves in their own little bubble than perhaps they would be using public transport.
We've heard a lot about the word bubble, haven't we, in the last few months? And how about getting stock, Alison? Has it been easy for you to access the stock that you need?
No, Volvo have factories in China, America, Belgium and Sweden, and they all shut down for different periods of time. So getting stock has been tricky. I think as a manufacturer, Volvo have really put their backs into it and increased production since they've been reopened. And we order stock all year round. So it's not a question of a customer coming in and we go, oh, we'll order your brand new car, sir or madam, and it will come in 3 months' time. We've always got stock on order, so it trickles through. I got back to work at the beginning of July and it's been very, very busy ever since, with the factory building, about 6 or 7 cars every day for us. So it's been difficult to keep up, but it's been very, very good.
And Alisha, is there normally sort of periods of the year that you find are generally busier than others anyway, aside from what's been going on this year? Yeah,
of course. I mean, usually July, August, September and January sort of are our peaks. Obviously, coming up to Christmas, we sort of see a little bit of an incline. But potentially that could change. That could change whether, like you say, people are sort of left with a bit more money. They can't go on holiday. Maybe once all the Christmas presents are out of the way, which people are doing earlier this year because they're worried about another lockdown, they could be buying their car online through us, or like you say, a new dealership, or. Yeah.
And are you getting the cars coming through? People, so do they come and say, right, I want to trade this in? And are people doing that quite easily? The sort of logistical side of that for you, Alisha, as well.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we don't get too many part exchanges. Recently, I've found that most people have been selling their cars privately, because obviously you get a little bit more money selling your car privately opposed to trading in, and then they sort of come to us straight away. To be honest, I don't think I've actually taken in a trade-in this month. Which is sort of surprising. But yeah, no, most people have sort of already got their funds ready, whether it's finance or they've already got the money sitting around.
Well, lovely to talk to both of you. Thank you for joining us this morning. Phenomenal trade this year being seen by Alisha Howard, General Manager of Mersey Car Sales, which specialises in used cars near Colchester. And the same